Hello, how are we? Welcome back to the channel, Up the Reds TV with me, Andy. As I always say at the beginning of these videos and these shows, please like, please share, and please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for the new subscribers who have come on board. I noticed that today that we've got a couple of more on board. Listen, every subscribe helps this channel, and it gets my my videos out on YouTube, so more the merrier. So thank you very much for and welcome to the newcomers. If you are still one of those that watch these videos and are yet to subscribe or hit the notification button, please do so, and I would be really grateful if you would do that one. And also I'd like to say thank you for the ones who've been subscribing for a while. Thank you for supporting this this channel and myself. Okay, so the video I was going to do or today was going to be, well, it still is going to be that actually, about the remaining fixtures between now and the end of the season. And I'm going to put the end of the season as May the 30th because that is when the Champions League final is in Budapest, I believe. So I've used that as the cut-off for this season. But there is more to talk about as well on the schedule that I had. I was going to talk about the onslaught fallout that's happening. I was going to talk about Richard Hughes. I'm going to talk about Jeremy Jacquet and things like that. So just bear with me on that one. But before we start with all that, so last night, sitting at in my living room, I'm learning Italian at the moment, so I was doing a bit of Italian phrases, and my lad comes running in, and when he comes running in with his phone on speakerphone, I know he wants to show me something because you can hear him. He's in the snug and he's coming through, and he said, "You need to get on your Insta because Mo Salah's leaving." And it didn't surprise me when he said that, so picked my phone up, and I was just about to log into my Insta account, and then Liverpool sent out their worldwide message, and that pops up on my phone before I could do that, and it was saying about Mo Salah leaving at the end of the season. And so I watched them both. They were basically the same. So I thought I'd speak about Mo Salah at the beginning of this this show. So we know that he's not had a good season this season. So, and he's had a bit of a blip. He's had a bit of a fallout with the club 3 months ago, and I'd already made my feelings clear in the post-match video of after the Leeds game of what he said, and I still stick by what I said then. And if you want to know what that is, you could always go back onto the channel and have a look. But just a quick thing to say about that was that I wasn't too happy about him going public of what he said, and I said that we at Liverpool don't wash our dirty laundry in public. So, but that's gone. It's still in the background, but it might have something to do with why he's decided to go at the end of the season. So, as I said, we can only look back at what he's done for us, the Premier League. He's certainly done more than probably he would have anticipated, if I'm honest with you, because when I was doing the notes for this show, I was just doing preparing, looking back at certain things, and I mean, it's 9 years since he's when he came to us, the summer of 2017, and we bought him for £34 million. Jurgen Klopp didn't want him. Okay, so when I say he didn't want him, he was convinced that he should buy him, or he should give the go ahead for the sale, because he would be what we are looking for. We'd already got Sadio Mane through the door, Bobby Firmino, and the data team and analyst, Julian Ward, Michael Edwards, they were already there. They said that, he could be the final jigsaw for the team that Jurgen Klopp had started building, and so yes, so we came through the door of the summer of 2017, £34 million. I wonder what his value would have been if he was prime Mo Salah now. So there's a banner that has been made by Banner Flags 22. They do lots of stuff, banners for supporters home and away. When I say home and away, home and abroad, should I say. And there's one of their banners that I like. It says, "It's not so important what people think of you when you come in. It's much more important what people think of you when you leave." And I think that's a Jurgen Klopp saying, if I'm not mistaken. So, and this one points really to all the players that have come and gone from Liverpool. Some have gone with our blessings. Others have gone with us giving them some flack in their ears about they should have stayed. We won't go into the players that did that in the past, because there are quite a lot of players. I'm not just talking about the players in Jurgen Klopp's era at the club. I'm talking way beyond that as well. So yeah, Mo Salah is one of the greatest Premier League players, okay, of all time. Now, not because he plays for Liverpool, but that's a massive bonus to us Reds, because he has been the professional that the Premier League used throughout his 9 years that he's been at Liverpool. By that I mean Premier League sell the rights of the football clubs worldwide. Okay, it's the most sold rights in the world for football. After this season, maybe they might not have as many, because the football's been crap this season by all teams. If we're honest with ourselves, it's been boring. So yeah, as a model professional, he's been up there with promoting the Premier League. Look, I was trying to think. I wonder how many lines I would have to use on a A4 piece of paper of all the accolades that he's won off from the football in his football career. And I started to write them down. There were so many that it nearly got to a point where, I was more than halfway down an A4 piece of paper, and I'm thinking, wow, 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 I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So I've picked a few, but you guys tell me which is your favourite bits of Mo Salah, okay? But I just want to give you some that I'd picked, okay? Golden Boot Award winner. I put multiple times, but it's 4 times he's won that. He's won various press awards around in this country and around the world. The most important one is an award that you get from your peers. That's your fellow professional footballers, and he was given that he'd won that 3 times. 3 times. I'm sure he would have been nominated the other times as well, but 3 times in 9 seasons. That is some accolade from your fellow professionals. To me, it's a really important one because that tells us and the rest of us what a fantastic player he was. Double Premier League winner last season. We have to be honest with ourselves. He won it for Liverpool. If it wasn't for Mo Salah last season, we wouldn't have won that Premier League. So thank you for that, Mo. Champions League winner. He should have won more than 1 Champions League, in my eyes. If it wasn't for Ramos injuring him with his shoulder, taking him down, the dirty rat. FA Cup winner, double League Cup winner. He's won the FIFA World Club World Cup. He's won the UEFA Super Cup. And he scored 16 goals against our arch rivals, Manchester United. That's brilliant. I don't think we're ever going to see anybody beat that. He holds the Premier League record, Premier League record for the most in most games which he has scored and assisted. In 2018, he won the Puskas Award for his superb goal against our Merseyside rivals Everton. I was at that game at Anfield. The snow was coming. It was freezing that day. Honestly, it was. I was there, and it was a great finish. Absolutely brilliant finish from Mo. So he got the winner, didn't he? Made me happy that day, and I'm still smiling. So in October 2021, he became the first visiting Premier League player to score a hat-trick at Old Trafford. And he's had a great history. 33, 34. I looked at his club history. So 2010 to 2012, he played for the Egyptian side, El Makawaloon, as they were called, or still are called. He made, in 2 years, 37 appearances and he scored 11 goals. Then he went to Basel between 2012 to 2014. He made 47 appearances and he scored 9 goals. And then Chelsea bought him in January 2014, paid 11 million for him. He stayed 2 years. Now, people say he was a Chelsea reject. He was a flop. Look, Jose Mourinho bought him. So Jose Mourinho bought a lot of players, and a lot of players didn't get into his team because it was Chelsea. They were just palmed off. Kevin De Bruyne being another one. And you know what a good Premier League player he's been as well. So, yeah, Chelsea by him. He only made 19 appearances in 2 years and he just got a couple of goals. So make your own mind up about when he was at Chelsea. And then they loaned him out in 2015 to Fiorentina. And then they loaned him out in the summer of 2015 to Roma, before Roma bought him in 2016. And then Liverpool went in and bought him the summer of 2017. He's been an absolute legendary status. But you know what? I've said this before to you guys, right? When you become a legend, it's a two-way thing. And would he have got those records or assists or anything if he didn't play in a very, very good team with a very, very good manager in Jurgen Klopp? Everything clicked for him when we bought him. I mean, did he score 40-odd goals in his first season? 43, 44 goals. There was a song made about him. Look, we all hum that song, don't we? You know, when we think about it, we've all we've all hummed it, we've all sang it. So yeah. So really, I'd just like to thank him. Thanks for the memories, Mo. Thanks for when I say the memories, some really good memories. I remember Steven Gerrard making his video for Liverpool when he jacked in, and he said, I wish I was 25 again. But in life that doesn't happen, does it? And he's right. You know, Mo's come to the end of his career in the Premier League. I will be really surprised if he ended up at another Premier League club. It was a mate of mine said, what if he goes down to one of the lower clubs, Brentford or even Brighton? You know, he could play there. But no, I think his pastures are going to be abroad. Maybe MLS, Saudi League. If he goes to the Saudi League, you talk about he's the Egyptian king here. He would be lauded as many things over in Saudi Arabia, the Messiah, you name it. He would be, again, the pinnacle of that league, just like he was for the Premier League. And but you know what? He'd find it so easy in that, I'm going to call it a Mickey Mouse league, that you get paid a lot of money for. We've seen a lot of average players from this country go over there and they are earning millions, absolute millions. We've seen managers from this country go over there and done exactly the same, earned a hell of a lot of money. So yeah, it's a big thank you. Like I say, the only blip I had with him was 3 months ago when he came out with the club doesn't want me anymore. My relationship with Armstrong is broken. And I said in that show, and you can look back at it 3 months ago, that I wasn't happy. I thought it was disrespectful by him. He shouldn't be doing that because it's about the team and not the individual. And I thought that he would have been gone when he came back from the AFCON. Armstrong got a lot of flack for it, but he kept his cool. And I remember him saying at press conferences, we've spoken a few times, but that'll be just private between me and him. So yeah, whoever advised him to do that wasn't very good at that.
But we look at the memories. He's going to get a massive send-off at the Brentford game, last game of the season. Him and his family, they'll be on the pitch. There will be tears because grown men do cry, and we've seen tears of players leaving. Apart from James Milner, he's quarry stone, isn't he? He is rock hard. There was no tears from him when we gave him a send off. Bobby, he was in tears. So yeah. When players leave Liverpool, we will send them off with our best wishes, and that's what we do. As I say, you tell me your thoughts, guys. He scored some fantastic goals, hasn't he? The one against Everton, the one against Man City, where he put who was it on his backside, and he scored the Chelsea goal, the curler, when he got the ball from, was it Van Dijk, puts it in the top bins on the right hand side. I wish he could have done more of that this season. But my favourite goal, and there's a reason behind it, was when we were winning 1-0 at home to Man United, and Ali gathers the ball and he launches it. I think it's James as the last Man United player. Mo runs from his half and he puts it back past De Gea and takes his shirt off, and Ali runs the full length of the pitch. That was my favourite goal, because that was the goal that finally convinced me we were going to win the Premier League under Jurgen Klopp and this team, and it was a fantastic celebration. My second one was when he scored the pen in the first 3 minutes of the Champions League final against Spurs. And although it was a nervy final, it wasn't that really good, was it? But they brought the trophy back, and that was a year before. So they're my two favourite moments of Mo. You guys tell me yours. I'm sure I've forgotten some of them, and you'll remind me what they are. Okay, so we now look at the other side of what's happening. 7 league games to go. Okay, we're still in the FA Cup and we're still in the Champions League. So I'm going to break them down for you. Okay, the fixtures. April the 4th, 12:45, we play Manchester City away in the FA Cup. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll give you my prediction. I think we'll get knocked out. I don't want us to. I always support I always support Liverpool. I want them to win every game. But because of how the season's panning out, I've got to look at it with my eyes. And the Brighton game has sort of like, after the Galatasaray game, that we were always going to win that game at Anfield. But the Brighton game just told me that we've had a disastrous season, and it's time for a change. 4 days after that, on the 8th of April, we are away to PSG, 8 p.m. kickoff, first leg of the Champions League. PSG desperately trying to get their game called off with the second place team, because their last game in the Champions League against Chelsea, they managed to get that one off against Nantes. But it's they want to get it called off so they can prepare for more time. And the French league is saying no, and Lens are saying no either. Was it Lyon? Whoever's second in that league. And then 3 days after that game, we have our home fixture against Fulham, 5:30 kickoff. So when we come back, 3 games in 7 days. No doubt Slot will mention that in his first press conference, the FA Cup game at City, and he'll probably mention it again in the PSG press conference, and he'll certainly mention it before we play Fulham. That game we have to win. If we don't win that game, we are in massive trouble because of the teams that are around us. And I'll touch on the teams that are there. So, second week, 14th of April, 3 days after we'd play, 3 days after we played Fulham, we are home to PSG in the second leg. Now, if we get something from the first leg at PSG, if it wasn't for Ali last season, we scored the goal, Harvey Elliott, but we had to thank Ali for 4 or 5 superb saves. I can't see that happening this time. We will concede goals in France. It depends if we can score. They have a dodgy defence now. They have been leaking goals this season, but we are struggling in attack. We are struggling how to create chances. And we'll have the Anfield experience for the second leg, but I just think it might be a bit too much for the Reds. And again, just like the FA Cup, I think the Reds will go out of the competition. So 5 days later after that is another massive one. We go to the Hilly Dicky, whatever it's called, stadium, Everton, 2 p.m. kickoff, and another game that we have to get a positive result, not a draw. When I say positive, I mean 3 points. 6 days after that, 25th, we are home to Crystal Palace, 3 p.m. kickoff. However, that weekend, if we manage to get past Man City, 25th, 26th, is the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. So just bear that in mind. Okay, so I'm trying to look at all the scenarios. On the 28th of April, it's the first leg of the Champions League if we happen to get past PSG. So the games are coming thick and fast, and then we move into May. 5th of May, my birthday. We're away to Manchester United. 2nd of May, we're away to Manchester United. Apologies for that. Again, we need to get a result, and it has to be a positive result. And I can't stipulate any more than that. We cannot lose games now. On the 5th of May, okay, again, it's still my birthday. It's the Champions League semi-final second leg if we were to progress. 7 days after that, we are home to Chelsea, 9th of... 4 days after that, we're home to Chelsea. Kick-off times to be confirmed for the games in May. And then 8 days' time, the 17th, we are away to Aston Villa. Again, kick-off times to be confirmed. But on the 16th is the FA Cup final. So, so we might not have that game. That game might have to be squeezed in somewhere if we happen to get in, to the final. 7 days after that, 24th, is the game at home to Brentford, Mo Salah's farewell game. And then on the 30th, we've got the Champions League. So I put on here 9th of May, home to Chelsea, 17th away to Villa. However, the Reds were to get to the FA Cup final. This will be played, which is played on the 16th. Might have to play that 2 or 3 days after that, and then squeeze in the or maybe a week after that, and then the 24th final home game, and Champions League as well on the 30th. Look, when we come back, we have no idea what the what sort of condition the player's going to come back after this crappy international break, because it's just friendlies, isn't it? Absolute dog shite friendlies at the business end of the season. So we've no idea what state they're going to come back into, but when they come back to it, they're going to be on it. Arne Slot, right, will be replaced as Liverpool head coach. No qualms about that. The stories coming out of Germany today that Alonso's been, and his associates have been sounded out, and he's interested, and and he will look at what's on offer. Liverpool need to move fast. Okay. Looks like Pep Guardiola. I said Pep Guardiola would leave at the end of the season. I'm now looking slightly the other way. He might stay for another year with the team that he's got. There might be other things in it. We might hear about City's 115 charges and what's going to happen with that, or it still might be brushed under the carpet. So yeah, we need to move in fast. Xabi Alonso, if he wants the job, give him the job, give him the tools. Okay, so the lad that's been putting the stuff out in Germany is the lad that told us that we would be getting Florian Wirtz, and every tweet that he said came true, and he's now mentioning Florian Wirtz in his tweets, and so yeah, apparently the assistant, Xabi Alonso's assistant, has spoke to Florian and asked him what's life in Liverpool like. Florian should have just said one thing to him: it's boss la, because it is, it absolutely is. I'm sorry it's ending the way it is for Arne Slot, but I said back in November that we should have replaced him then when we had the opportunity. We didn't do. But yeah, it's unfortunately he bought us that title last season, which was great, and we thank him for that. But we can't have the stale brand of football that we've been watching. I can't believe the stories that I'm hearing coming out of the AXA training ground, that the training's not good. It's not stimulating the players. Players are having time off, more time off than normal. I don't know why that's coming, where that's come from, but it doesn't sound good when we have to prepare for big games that we play in, not just in the Premier League, but in the Champions League as well. So our season's fizzling out. We keep saying we nearly turned the corner. We nearly turned the corner. We're miles away from the corner, absolutely miles away, and things need to change, and they need to change rapido. I mean, Richard Hughes might not be about, talk about him going to Saudi League. Michael Edwards might not be about. So there might be upheaval because, as I've already mentioned to you in a previous show, that they have ditched the plans for the multi club ownership, and they're not interested in it anymore. So where does that leave Edwards? Me personally, if Hughes was to go, I'd slap Julian Ward straight back in there, and I'd get others in, and let's back the new head coach who comes in. And if it is Xabi Alonso, it's got to be better football than what we've seen this season. If I'm honest with you. Okay, that's enough from me. It's a good 35 minutes I've rattled on here. Thank you very much for watching this video, and as I said at the beginning of the video, if you like the videos, please smash the likes, please share the videos, and if you have not subscribed to the video, please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. We talk all things Liverpool on here, and I enjoy doing this. Okay, look after yourselves. I'm off for a bit of scran. Up the Reds.